Okay, yeah, I cheated a little bit. It's going to feel a bit more than one here, so bear with me. It's going to be a bit of a monologue, but a peek behind the curtain. We don't know what the core four stories are. Chad and I heading into this, it's to keep us on the toes and make sure that we're in tune with everything going on in the league. So a bit of my wind has been taken out of my sails here, but I was a bit torn on what I wanted to talk about. Did I want to do a scary good start, a scary bad start, a team, a player? Well, I'm going to do a division. All four of
Wow.
the divisions have their outliers, like Edmonton in the Pacific, Pittsburgh, Boston is, not outside of the top four. So I'd say that's an outlier. But in the grand scheme of things, the Metro, Atlantic, and Pacific are shaping up as expected. The Central, on the other hand, has been chaotic and has many uncertain of what's going to happen for the rest of the season. First, I want to recognize that some things have gone as expected. Dallas is near the top of the division. They're phenomenal. Chicago is at the bottom. Good. That's over with. Let's get away from those teams. We have talked about Nashville, the Predators. They have, everyone expected them to be a strong playoff contender, and now they've looked quite the opposite of that, and everyone's flipping on them to the point where I've called for a miracle worker and Philip Forsberg to save that season.
People did not like that, by the way, on TikTok.
Oh my go ahead and watch the bold predictions episode if you haven't.
Winnipeg, they're bold predictions for a reason.
Yeah, it's bold. Winnipeg has looked like a juggernaut so far. Second highest scoring team, best PP in the league. And incredible goaltending. We pegged them for fourth in the division and potentially missing the playoffs. They're undefeated. The Avalanche cannot keep the puck out of their net. And despite their stars showing up in a big way, scoring at will, they're 500 to start the season. We were calling for a coin flip between them and Dallas at the top of this division. And I know they have the lion's share of expected goals, but this is a bit scary so far. St. Louis, we had in seventh. They've presented as this plucky team that finds a way to win hockey games. They've got decent goaltending from both guys. They've caught the injury bug at the moment, but just above 500, they have to be thrilled with a 5-4 start. And Broberg, what a steal.
Yeah,
Utah, we talked about. They've been middling, so maybe I should have added them to the Chicago Dallas section as expected. But the young guys are showing that this team can score and that they can be a good team. So last but not least, we talked about Minnesota. They've been phenomenal and have absolutely flipped this division upside down. And now we have no clue what's going to happen for the division moving forward. And to me, that's a scary start. If I was a fan of a team in the Central Division, I'd be scared, and I'm a bit spooked for our preseason rankings so far and how they've turned out.
That's a good way to put it. A bit spooked for the preseason rankings. I'm with you, Case, because this division is all over the place. And I actually hung out with a buddy yesterday. Us and the girlfriends went to a pumpkin patch, and he was talking about the Jets. He's a big Jets fan, and he said, "How about them Jets?" And he knew of my take where I said they're going to miss the playoffs or might not have enough to make the playoffs or be a playoff lock, and was just gloating and rubbing it in my face, basically, because they're 8-0 right now. It's insane. And then, the Minnesota Wild, like we talked about in the opening segment, they've been dynamite as well. I don't know, man. This is a scary division no matter where you're at, because I think now, as it's shaken out so far, the top 7 teams of 8 in this division can make the playoffs, and that means that probably 2 or 3 pretty good teams are going to have to miss just because this division is so good right now. So definitely scary.
I mean, I said that I expected both wildcard spots to come out of the Pacific for our preseason rankings. Well, who knows? Damn. This division has me scared.
Yeah.
Yeah, and right now, for me, all I'll say about the Central, the scary thing about it, to me, because of how early it is still, and we've seen some good starts, the only sure things to me right now are Winnipeg and their team and the Dallas Stars, I would say. I know the Minnesotas of the world have had a good start, but it's still so early, and Colorado's won 4 games in a row. Nashville, it looks like they're starting to get their act together. Jonathan Marchessault with just a beautiful overtime winner the other night. So, yeah, it is scary, but it's fun. We're seeing the parity in this division up and down, and it's going to be interesting to watch. But yes, it is scary indeed.
I should add as well, Winnipeg and Minnesota are both in the top 5 right now on Money Puck for goals for above expected, meaning that they're either getting lucky or all of a sudden have really good finishers on both of those teams, or somewhere in between. But that stat usually evens out towards the end of the year. Teams at the very top of it are usually quite lucky. Teams at the very bottom are usually quite unlucky, but expect that to even out a little bit for Winnipeg.
But flip that side over, and it's the exact opposite when it comes to goals against. Like, both these teams don't expect to have any goals against. So if you're scoring a little too much and you come back down a little bit, if you can keep the puck out of the net and continue to get good goaltending, which we've seen out of both, Hellebuck's been godly. Then
he's so good.
Not much to be worried about.
He's so good in the regular season. Damn.
Oh, caveat.
Just had to sneak that in there, right?
Well, I mean, last year he just got picked apart by the Stars, Stars of Colorado, is what I was.
Well, and again, like, I mean, Minnesota and Winnipeg, like, they're 2 teams that just seem to completely collapse in the playoffs. So we'll have to see. It's early yet, but yeah, scary things going on with that Central Division. That was well done, Case.